I'm here with Francisca Carranza, one of the 61 Castlewood workers who have been locked out since February 2010. Facing rising healthcare costs last year, the stately Castlewood Country Club shifted the burden to workers. From one day to the next, janitors and servers were to pay 40% of their wages in order to receive family health care. Food service and custodial workers who are represented by Unite Here Local 2850 refused this change and were subsequently locked out. Francisca, thank you for being here.
You're welcome.
So how long had you been working at the Castlewood Country Club before being locked out?
A little bit over a year, about 14 months.
And how well did you know your coworkers at that time?
Very little. It was just come in and say, hi, how are you? And goodbye, I'll see you tomorrow. And that was it.
So you've been locked out for a year, and you've been going to the demonstrations, to marches, to rallies. Why is it important for you that the club carry responsibility for some of your family's healthcare costs?
There are persons in the club that have been working for long periods of time, anywhere from like 2 years to 25 years. And throwing their employees like that to the street, I don't think that's fair. I mean, it's been long years of service, of steadily coming every day and giving everything for the satisfaction of the members. And then all of a sudden finding yourself on the street without a job.
So you empathize with the other workers, and this is part of why you've been in the campaign for the full year.
Yes, that's one of the main reasons. Plus, when they threw us out on the street, meeting at the picket every day, you get to know the other workers. Like now you know that. Now I know that they have babies and that they have kids that they need to help, support. And they're struggling. These are hardworking people. We want to have the dignity of having our own jobs and provide for our families, for ourselves.
Tell me a little bit about your family. How many children do you have?
I raised 6 kids, being a single mother, and I got married about 6 years ago. All my kids are grown up. My youngest is 18, and my husband, last year at the beginning of the lockout, he was admitted into the hospital with arrhythmia, and then the doctor said that he couldn't work anymore because when he gets active, like simply walking or jogging a little bit, his heart starts beating abnormally. So he cannot really, agitate himself a lot. So it's been really hard. The rest of my kids are already grown up and living on their own, and they have been helpful. They've been helping me with like food and a little bit of money to, meet our needs.
So how have you been making do? I mean, it's a bad economy. And on top of this, you're out of work. Your husband's out of work.
Yes, we applied for unemployment benefits and we've been surviving on that. Plus the union is helping us with rent money, and so we have been meeting our needs. Barely, but we're making it.
You have a very strong spirit. Tell me about what has helped you endure a 1-year campaign. What has gone through your mind and what has helped you through this year?
Well, I like to read, so I read a lot, and I like to learn things. Every day you learn a new thing. I encounter a lot of good people. My mother was very compassionate. Yes, very compassionate. Thank you. So she raised us like that, and that's something that you carry with you for the rest of your life.
I heard you say in a presentation earlier this month, one of the hardest things during this campaign has been hearing country club members yell, "Go back home," as you've been outside picketing in the elements to return to your job site.
Yes. I mean, just because we look, like I said, we look brown, they think that we're all illegal here, and it's not the case. And they pass by and they yell, "We're going to call ICE, we're going to call immigration, go home, get away from here, we don't want you, you don't belong here." They don't know us, they don't know anything about us. So how can they say that? It's really hard. Especially for some of them, they don't understand what they mean when they yell that. And they ask, what are they yelling at? And I feel very frustrated. One of the members, we were doing a hunger strike back in May. We did it for 3 days. And we were sitting out there, and one of them came out from an event inside of the club, and he had some food in his hand, and he said, "I brought you this food for you to eat." And then I said, "No, thank you. We're having a hunger strike." And he said, "I don't think that you should be doing this. I don't think it's right." And all of a sudden he started saying, "I don't want any of you back. I'm one of the biggest tippers. If you come back, I don't think I'm going to leave tips anymore." And then I said, "I don't work for tips. I'm one of the janitors." And he says, "Well, I don't know you. For all I care, you don't even work here." And then he says, "You are stupid and ignorant and you don't know what you're fighting for." I felt very angry, but at the same time, I don't think it would have been okay to say like rude words to him, because he was ignorant there and he didn't know what he was saying. He didn't know what I was fighting for. I don't know.
What would you tell other people who are facing issues in their workplace?
I will tell them they don't have to keep it quiet. They don't have to suffer through it alone. There's a lot of people out there who can help with these issues, but mainly we are humans. We have dignity. We deserve respect. We are working, and if we have like these jobs, like I'm a janitor and it's not considered like a very good job, but it doesn't mean that I'm less of a person, less of a human. We are the same. So if you feel like you are being mistreated, if they're taking advantage of you, just don't keep it quiet. Because if you stay quiet, they're gonna feel like they can push you aside, step on you, and get rid of you, just like that.
Egypt, Tunisia, Wisconsin, China, there are protests in a number of places throughout the world, and people coming together and standing up and demanding that their rights be met. Do you feel solidarity when you hear and read or see these news reports?
Yes, I do. I feel for those people in Egypt and Wisconsin. But if you look around here locally in the area, you can find that these things happen all around you, really close. And this is something I didn't see before. I thought that coming to America was like, everything is fair and everyone has rights and they're going to treat you fine. And that's not the case. You can go to as close as San Pablo, and the casino in San Pablo, the workers are being mistreated too. Some people have been there for like 15 years and earning $8 after 15 years. It seems incredible to me.
What has been the biggest lesson so far?
The biggest lesson is that we can keep our dignity. No matter how much they mistreat you, you can still stay strong and with your head up, proud of where you are, where you come from, and your families.
Over the last year, there have been a number of proposals and counter-proposals, including a counter-offer by the workers involving a pay freeze and increases in the share of healthcare costs so that the club could save 30% of the healthcare spending for union workers.
Right. At what point we were saving the club around $10,000, and still they didn't take the proposal. Then we offered to pay $225 towards the medical benefits. Still wasn't good enough for them. Every time we go back to the negotiations table, they want to keep taking away from us. Now they want to take our seniority. At the beginning of the bargaining, they told us that they didn't want all of the workers back. And after that, they said, "Oh, no, we didn't mean it like that. Everyone can come back to work, but only for a trial period of 90 days. And after 90 days, they want to pick and choose among the workers and choose who stays. And then they want to keep the temporary workers that they have now." I don't think that's fair either. There's no way we can accept a contract like that. They want to be able to cut our shifts, and they want to be able to subcontract our jobs. So what is left?
Francisca, where do you go from here on this campaign?
We're going to keep on fighting. They cannot just push us aside because we don't have money or because, they just want to push us aside. That's what they want to achieve, just push us aside and for us to quit. We're not going to quit. So we're going to keep on fighting. They will return us to work.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me here.